All right, let me do a quick summary of everything that we've learned here in Genesis 48, 49 with the Mazzerot, okay? Just as the coming of Messiah, who had established a new covenant, was pictured throughout the old covenant, it was not until he came and died and rose that we understood and realized that the plan was there all along. It's right there in all these pictures we've been dealing with all through Genesis and Exodus, Joshua, huge. All these pictures are there about Christ. Okay, so keep in mind that this was not written down for us today until Moses at Mount Sinai. Okay, these constellations picture his plan of redemption from creation throughout history. We are not able to see or make the connections until he came, died, and rose, and that we understood and realized it was there all along. Okay? Job was before Moses, and he had this understanding of the constellations, Orion and the Pleiades and the bears and their cubs in chapter 38. This was 3,500 years ago, and this was before Moses. So the understanding is in other cultures throughout the world also. These cultures came from the Tower of Babel, and so these even predate that. And I believe the plan of salvation and the gospel have been written in the stars, and we are coming to understand that it has been there all along. It is through his word that we can understand more fully. I am also not dogmatic about what tribe is associated with what constellation that people have assigned to these, okay? I went through and I outlined the sons in the order of their blessing in Genesis 48 and 49, and Jacob doesn't bless these in the order of their birth entirely, okay? I have outlined the sons in the order of their birth, Genesis 29 and 30, and Jacob doesn't bless in this order. Some are blessed before others, okay? And you got to keep in mind here, too, that there's the picture of the firstborn understanding in these. The one born first didn't get the firstborn blessing, all right? So you got to remember that could be at play here, too. And I've also outlined the sons according to the camp of Israel in Numbers 2. And the Bible doesn't list these in order of their birth either. So they're most likely outlined in an order of their understanding that God wants and gave them. And I had someone else suggest that maybe they were, that's the month they were born in, that's why they are in that order. I don't know. That's just something to throw in just to bounce around. But we don't have the info of what month they were born in. So we have to stick with what we do have an understanding with, and that's collectively in the Bible, in the meaning that are poured into each son, their blessings, where they live, got their inheritance, and all that for the constellations. So I know we still have things to learn here. We always will be, of course, but we may have to wait to get the full detail on everything. And we also need to allow God to place these where he deems fit, even though we don't understand completely how or why. So I do believe that most of these are in the correct assignment, okay? We are most likely missing some info that has been lost throughout the centuries that would make us, help us make better connections with these. But there's enough here to say that God has made them. He's named them, named the stars, and night after night they pour forth speech. The creation glorifies God, not us. So let's look to them and his word to tell us his marvelous work of redemption. Look and see what God has done.